My name is Blair Jones, and I am taking Computers in Agriculture at Odessa College. Agriculture can be broken down into 4 different pieces: food, fiber, fuel, and fun. I'm doing a how-to video on how to make deer jerky, which is food. First, you'll take your deer meat and wash it off with cold water to get the hair and any other debris off of it. You can also rinse out all of your meat at once in your bag by filling it up with cold water and mixing it around, or you can soak it in salt water to remove more of the blood. Once your meat is clean, you're ready to trim it. First, you'll trim off all the fatty pieces that look like this. Next, you'll trim off the membrane or the silver skin. And interestingly, the Native Americans used to use the silver skin to make the string on their bow. Now you're ready to cut your deer meat into whatever size jerky you prefer. Our jerky is now cut into strips. Our goal is to try and cut them as uniformly as possible in size and shape. Your goal is to make them approximately 1/4 inch thick. And now it is ready to be marinated. So now our meat is ready for our marinade. For this batch, I'm going to be using Claude's barbecue brisket marinade sauce. And to add a little smoky, sweet flavor, we'll be using a little bit of smoked paprika. So before you can pour this in, we have to shake it up. And we will pour about half the bottle in. And for our paprika, we will be using a teaspoon. And now we will leave it to sit and marinate overnight. Don't forget to keep it refrigerated while it marinates. So now our pieces have marinated overnight, and we are going to begin placing them on the dehydrator. They have to be spaced out evenly to allow the air to rotate. So now that we have placed all of our meat on the drying racks evenly, we will check it periodically until it reaches our preferred level of dryness. If anyone is interested, we are actually using the Open Country Jerky Maker / dehydrator to make our jerky today. Right now I'm checking on the progress of our deer meat. It's not done yet, it can still be cooked a little bit. So once it has reached your desired level of dryness and texture, it's ready to go. Here are some fun facts to add to the end of our video. The deer meat we used was actually harvested from a town called Newtown in Missouri. We travel there each year to visit family, and we only get to hunt once a year. We usually kill 1 buck each, so that's 2 bucks, and about 2 does each, so that's 4 does. The reason why we hunt in Missouri is because they have fairly large whitetails. Here in Texas, we have mule deer, which tend to be pretty small. The reason why the whitetails get to be so big in Missouri is because they have many fields full of corn and beans to munch on. A lot of the times in deer supplements that people put out on their ranches or hunting areas, they're usually full of corn. Corn is a great protein, and it helps their antlers get fairly large. Here in Texas, they are smaller because they tend to not have a natural food source to help them get so beefy. Here are some of the deers we've shot in Missouri. This one is a mature 8-point buck that I shot. This is another 8-point buck my dad shot. Here is a 10-point buck that me and my dad shot. This one actually closely resembles more of a mule deer than a whitetail. And lastly, here is another 10-point buck that my dad shot. Another fun fact is that you can use almost any meat to make jerky, not just beef or deer. Technically, any mammal, bird, fish, or large reptile will do. So if you use a red meat, whenever it is fully cooked, it'll turn a dark brown or a purplish color, and if you use a white meat, it'll turn a pinkish or gray color. To make deer jerky, you don't always need a dehydrator. Sometimes you can cook the meat on the spot near a campfire, but not over. Cooking it near the campfire will allow it to cook more evenly and dehydrate more properly. If you cook it over the campfire, sometimes it'll cook, but it'll go rotten faster. The whole deer jerky process is actually easier if you keep your meat slightly frozen and not fully thawed. In this video, our meat was fully thawed, which made it a little bit more difficult to cut and handle. When making your deer jerky, you don't always have to use just one single flavor. You can try out all sorts of flavors, such as a different barbecue, teriyaki, jalapeno. You can even use whiskeys and beers to marinate it. You wouldn't want your deer jerky to be boring or flavorless. Once your meat has finished dehydrating and it's ready to go, always be sure to keep it in a tightly sealed container or Ziploc bag. Keeping the air out of it will actually help keep it fresh longer, so you have a longer length of time to eat it. Thank you for watching my video on how to make deer jerky. I hope it helps you, and I hope you're able to use it in the future. This was for my Computers in Agriculture class at Odessa College with Dr. Lemons. Thank you again.